Hello, I'm Thomas, and today I will be reviewing the Logitech G Pro X Superlight. I don't think I have ever seen a mouse be leaked more in my entire life. We will be discussing the differences between it and the original G Pro Wireless, the new improvements, and the reasons why the G Pro Wireless has continued to be in the top spot for years. So let's get started. Quick disclaimer, I did receive this product from Best Buy's Tech Insider program in exchange for an unbiased written review on bestbuy.com, but decided to also do a video review. Honestly, I would have bought it myself anyways in white instead of black, but got lucky and was able to skirt that cost. Woo for me. It will not bias my opinion in any way, shape, or form, and my thoughts and experiences are my own. Everything stated in this review is from my own research. Moving on to the differences between it and the original G Pro Wireless. I originally bought the G Pro Wireless when it first released nearly 2 years ago, so you are currently feasting your eyes on an OG G Pro Wireless. I know, fancy, right? It killed some other truckers too. Virtually, of course, and never developed any double clicks, which I was very thankful of. It used to be my main mouse until the Razer Viper Ultimate came out, as I think that mouse does everything a little bit better and it checks more boxes for me and my personal preferences. But we'll see if the new G Pro X Superlight will take back that top spot on my desk. For simplicity, I will be referring to the G Pro Wireless as the G Pro and the new G Pro X Superlight as the Superlight, as technically they are two separate mice. Logitech's naming scheme here is absolutely brilliant, so let's get the elephant out of the room straight away. The G Pro is a behemoth coming in at 80 grams, and the Superlight is pretty anemic coming in at less than 63 grams, which now makes the Superlight the lightest wireless gaming mouse on the market by at least 6 grams, while also making it lighter than most wired gaming mice, which is freaking impressive. The next lightest wireless mouse is the Model O Wireless at 69 grams. Link to that review is in the description. Many users are actually finding their mouse weighs less than 63 grams, with some going into the upper 50s. Crazy talk, I tell you, crazy. They accomplish this by removing the right side buttons, so you left-handers are so out of luck. They also removed the DPI button from the bottom of the mouse, so you DPI switchers are also losers. Last, you RGB fanatics will also be disappointed because that has also been removed and replaced by this gray G logo. If you squint real hard, you can pretend it's a gray light. There is also a single LED indicator instead of 3 to notify you when it's powered on, what DPI you are on, and when the battery is low, it will blink, along with a bunch of other stuff that you can't see going on under the hood. The side clicks feel a bit different, as well as they remove the modularity of it. I find that my G Pro has crisper side clicks, where the Superlight feels a bit mushy but still ends with a crisp click. I think that is because there is no longer a piece of plastic there, which allows it to move a bit more than previously. I'm also concerned that these buttons could cave in with enough pressure, especially for those who are prone to suffer inexplainable fits of rage while playing games.
There's no indicator! I broke my mouse.
Oh my. No.
I'm dead, dude. I'm dead, dude. Yeah, it's just nothing like. Offline, guys. Later.
We've had better games.
We've all been there. If you're enjoying this video so far, leave a like. If you're not liking this video so far, leave a dislike. And I'm trying to hit 5,000 subs by the end of the year, and the only way that I'm able to do that is by you hitting that subscribe button. So make sure you do if you want to help make my year. Overall button placement is ideal. They stick out and are easy to find, require light amount of actuation with moderate to long travel, making them feel mushy with a solid, crisp click at the end. The Superlight scroll wheel has now stepped into a new dimension and is two-toned. Groundbreaking, I know, but please hold your applause. Otherwise, it appears to be nearly the same and continues to be one of my favorite scroll wheels of all time. I have noticed that my Superlight feels a lot tighter with more defined steps than my G Pro, but attribute that to age more than anything else. Additionally, for middle mouse button, it requires a lot less force to actuate now with a defined click that is about a quarter as loud. Again, this could be due to variance. The scroll wheel has very definitive steps, it is tight, and requires moderate pressure to activate with a very crisp click. It's brilliant, I tell you, brilliant! Moving on to the big ticket item outside of the way, the clicks themselves. Can we cue some epic music, please? One of my biggest concerns, along with many others, was if the Superlight would also suffer from the double clicking issue. As for my research, it affects up to 10 to 15% of G Pro users, which is insane. Seriously, that's ridiculous. As most mouse click issues average around 3 to 4.5% from my research, I've heard through the grapevine that they are now using 20 million Omrons instead of their previous 50 million Omron switches. This switch of the Switch was made from the Shroud edition and newer. I have no idea how to tell you which edition you currently have and which one is the new one. This should transfer over to the Superlight as well. I do know that they did change some aspects of the clicks under the hood for the Superlight to cut weight, which should also hopefully help in reducing this issue. I reached out to Logitech for an official answer, and they have yet to get back to me. If they do, I'll mention what they said in a pinned comment. Why Logitech hasn't made a big deal about being transparent with improving the clicks, I don't know, which makes me think they haven't done anything, as why stay quiet about it, especially when this is such a huge issue for your top tier mouse. But I personally notice a huge difference between the Superlight and the G Pro. Part of this could be that my G Pro is 2 years old and the Superlight is brand new. The Superlight clicks are now about twice as loud and have stronger spring back force, which leads to an incredibly crisp click. Seriously, they feel great. However, it appears that the very light actuation force with very low pre-travel of the G Pro has now turned into slightly heavier actuation force with slightly longer pre-travel, followed by the same long post-travel. They still use the mechanical tensioning system, so each click is very consistent, as is left/right click variants. I continue to love these clicks, and they are still one of my favorites. They have finally upgraded their PTFE feet to no additive PTFE, and they are substantially larger. The puck also comes with more PTFE if you want to get real crazy up in here. Last, even though they removed the power play magnets, it still supports it. I much prefer these as they glide wonderfully on my glorious 3XL mouse pad. Another thing about the weight is it is now balanced, where on the previous version it was back heavy. I think they have also added a new coating, as the Superlight feels a lot less slippery in my hand, along with having more of a matte finish that feels slightly rubbery instead of glossy and slick. I cannot confirm this as a change, as it could be due to age, but I personally would fall on the side that says this is a different coating altogether, as the slipperiness of the G Pro was a common complaint that they would have wanted to fix. The Superlight also comes with grip tape now for those of you who just can't seem to hold onto your mouse. It's okay, you can just admit that your aim leaves a lot to be desired over issues with your mouse. Both still use the best on-off switch of any wireless gaming mouse I've tried, making it incredibly easy to toggle. It shows blue when on and red when off. The G Pro supports 5 onboard profiles, where the Superlight only supports 1, which is pretty pithy, which is definitely a downgrade. Not that you have a DPI button or anything like that to switch profiles anyways. Both continue to use a micro USB, as it is lighter and takes up less room, which is a bummer, as I would have preferred to see USB-C here. It still comes with a dongle and a plastic cord, which is also disappointing in the era of paracords. Thankfully, the rubber cord is very malleable, still nowhere near as premium as what other mice now offer, especially the glorious Model O wireless, which has a USB-C Ascend cord, which is great. Thankfully, battery life on this guy is tremendous, seriously, at 70 hours, which seems pretty darn accurate and may even be a little bit low, as I've been using this mouse for 4 days now and I'm only at 91%. So if every once in a while you remember to plug in your mouse and charge it, you shouldn't have to worry about it. This mouse will not be replacing the original G Pro wireless. You will still be able to buy both. The G Pro wireless will now be priced at $130 compared to $150. Massive savings there, I know. Hold the excitement, with the G Pro X Superlight taking the top spot at $150, which is just what we as consumers wanted, less for more. What a time to be alive, especially with the Model O wireless being $80. So we just went through a lot of stuff, so let's summarize real fast. The Superlight is now less than 63 grams from 80 grams, mine is 60 grams, the puck now weighs 1 gram compared to 2 grams, the weight is now balanced instead of back heavy, the side clicks have been removed from the right side and are no longer modular, which makes them feel a bit mushier, as there is more give but still provide a crisp click. Scroll wheel is two-toned, tighter with more defined steps, requires less actuation force, and is less loud. Clicks are now 50 million ohmron compared to 20 million, are twice as loud, feel crisper due to increased spring back force, require slightly more actuation force with slightly more pre-travel with the same post-travel. It has upgraded PTFE feet that also take up more surface area. Battery life is improved at a minimum of 60 hours to 70 hours. It uses the same Hero sensor. It has a new coating that is grippier, and it comes with grip tape. It only supports 1 onboard profile compared to 5. There is no RGB. It still uses micro USB and comes with an old school cable. Overall, if you enjoy the G Pro wireless, this will be a worthy upgrade in my opinion, as the G Pro wireless is now dead to me. You heathens, get out of my sight, take your RGB lighting and your modularity and find a new home. Just kidding, please don't make me sleep on the couch. So we're gonna finish up this review with why the G Pro Wireless has stayed on the top spot for years, as like I said earlier, it came out 2 freaking years ago and still continues to be in the top 2 for the best mouse out there. The first reason why this mouse has continued to stay on top is because Logitech was the first to completely revolutionize the wireless gaming mouse industry with their Lightspeed wireless, which made competitive gaming while wireless viable and has since been used to win tournaments multiple times. It first debuted in 2016. Let that sink in for a little while. 4 freaking years ago, other companies outside of Razer are just now catching up, and by just now I mean literally in the last couple of months / 6 months, and still don't do it better with the exception of Razer, which is freaking insane in the membrane, guys. Absolutely insane. The second reason is their Hero sensor, which Logitech actually makes in-house and is not a variant of PixArt. It has automatic surface tuning, giving you the lowest liftoff distance as possible to provide the best tracking. It uses flash memory-based firmware, which means it can be updated for further tracking improvements in the future, which is how they went from the 12K Hero to the 16K Hero sensor, or more recently, from 16K to 25K. I reached out to Logitech on if they made any other improvements with the latest update. They haven't gotten back to me yet. Again, check the pinned comment for any information I receive. Unfortunately, until confirmed otherwise, it still has, and I quote, just to make sure that I'm being fully accurate, at least 98% resolution accuracy compared to Razer's Focus Plus sensor at 99.6% accuracy. The Focus Plus also has other tech to make it more accurate, which I was hoping that Logitech would implement on the Hero, which makes the Hero sensor tie with the 3389 and beat most other sensors on the market in the sense of performance, but is still not top dog and loses to Razer's 5G optical sensor and Focus Plus. Even with the weight reduction and improved DPI, I find the Focus Plus sensor to be noticeably more accurate, but that difference has now lessened just a little bit, and it now crushes the competition outside of Razer. Third, they have nearly perfect clicks, attributed most likely to something they call their mechanical tensioning system, which makes each click feel nearly the same, along with making the left and right click feel nearly identical. I think this is one of the reasons why Logitech in general has amazing clicks, as all of their gaming mice utilize this tech. The Superlight's clicks now feel crisper than the G Pro Wireless as well, so it continues to get better. They also have an amazing scroll wheel that has the perfect amount of tension, defined steps, and clicks. Fourth, even though the mouse shape is a bit lackluster and hit and miss for most people, it supports all grip styles competently. The side buttons are also in the ideal position, no matter your hand placement. The weight at 80 grams was groundbreaking, but now they have done it again at coming in at less than 63 grams, which makes it the lightest wireless gaming mouse on the market, along with beating a bunch of wired mice, being pretty much in general one of the lightest gaming mice out there. All of these individual features come together to make a truly spectacular mouse that very few can compete with, because very few other companies do as much while doing it as well, which is why the Logitech G Pro Wireless and the Logitech G Pro X are in the top 2 mice period, with its only real competition being the Razer Viper Ultimate, which is why they can get away with charging $150. As they really don't have any real competition. So moving on to the conclusion, no surprise here, this is a fantastic mouse. The small improvements that they have made are very welcome to me, and if you are trying to get the most out of your mouse and already enjoy the G Pro Wireless and don't mind giving up some things to gain others, I highly recommend upgrading, as I truly do think you'll find this mouse to be even better, making your old G Pro Wireless obsolete like it did to me. If you're on the fence for whichever one to buy, I'd go with the Superlight, as I think it is still the better choice. If you are wondering if you should get it or the Model O Wireless, then you'll have to check out my Versus video, where I'll be putting the Superlight against the Model O Wireless and the Razer Viper Ultimate. Amazon associate links are in the description. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a dislike. And of course, if you've been following my content for a while, hit that subscribe button. I'd love to hit 5,000 subs here soon, ideally by the end of the year. I will see you and your beautiful face on the next one. God bless and peace out.